Sometimes you see people that are struggling financially, but they don't have a problem giving birth to children more or less every year, right? Now, is it my business? Everybody has a right to do what they want with their own bodies and make decisions for themselves, right? But when some of you talk to some of these people or you listen to them being interviewed, some of them are like, well, God is the one that gives children, children are blessings and all that. And am I doubting that children are blessings? Absolutely not. I have my own children and I actually love children. Children are also blessings, but God does not just throw children at us. There are things that people do, to adults do, that get them in a position to have, bring babies into this world. So a lot of other people also say, okay, in the Bible it says be fruitful, multiply, replenish. So it means we should go in and fill the population of the earth. But the truth is that when people have children like that without planning, without considering the implications, and they're just thinking that somehow, God will somehow take care of them. Will God somehow take care of the children? Sometimes, yes, God is just gracious and merciful, but sometimes also those situations end up putting the children in positions that they end up being abused, or they end up having a lower quality of life. Now, if we are truly saying that increase and multiply means that, God wants us to go and have plenty children, I have a question that has just been, going around in my mind. It's like, if God, we know that taking care of children involves money, right? Among a lot of other things. It's not just money, right? But if God, who is full of love, so he's there emotionally, he is the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills, he's the maker of heaven and earth, everything is in his hands. He's the one that gives power to get wealth, which means money is not his problem. He has what it takes to be, a parent on every front. Why is it that he chose to have an only begotten son, more or less an only child, right? So I've been thinking about that, and it confirms to me the fact that he says go, be fruitful, multiply. It doesn't only mean, okay, go and have as many children as you have arbitrarily. Don't think about it, I'll take care of them. No, that's not what it is about. Even though God has what it takes to nurture as many children as possible, he chose to have an only begotten son. But that son, he ensured to put that child in a family that would, bring him up in the right way and help him to understand the principles of life. And that's why the Bible said that Jesus grew in wisdom, in stature, and in favor with God and man. So he was growing on every level. He was maturing on every level, when it comes to intellect, when it comes to emotion, emotionally, socially, on every level, he was maturing. Right? So it was not just about the money. So in the same way, what that tells me is this: God himself made sure that that one child he had, he made sure that he put him in a position where, even though it's not like money was flowing, but he had the basic needs that will help him to be nurtured into a full-fledged human, into a functioning human. And because of that home training, that positive training that he had, he was able to, Bible says that he brought many sons to glory because of his passion, his ability to look beyond the physical things like possession, this and that. He was a compassionate human. He had everything it takes to function normally in society. Because of his input and his legacy, lives are still being drawn to God till today. So in essence, many sons are still being brought to glory just because of only begotten son that God made sure that he put him in a place to have quality home training. So in the same way, I think it's high time we start changing the narrative. It's not about how many children we have. And this is not to say if you have 10 children, then they will not be useful or you not take care of them. That's not what I'm saying. And it doesn't also mean that if you have just one child or two children, that your children will turn out well. That's not what I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to make is this: there's just a lot of people that never really think about what it takes to nurture children. They just leave it to chance that somehow God, Chineke nazonwa, God will take care of this matter. Children are blessings. Somehow God will send people to take care of them. No, we're not giving these children a good opportunity. If you have what it takes to have a certain number of children, go ahead and do that. But don't just think about the financial side. Even if you think about only the financial side, the truth is that no one knows tomorrow. We all pray that our lives will be nice and we'll live, happily and all that. But things happen, right? But even beyond the financial side, there are a lot of people that have all the money in the world, but their children still don't turn out well. There's still the other side, being, emotionally available to those children, being able to spend time with them, know what they're learning. A whole lot of things that go into nurturing children. So let's not make the same mistake that some of our parents in the past, they're just popping out children more or less. Are children blessings? Are we are we, not worthy to be human just because our parents had many of us in some cases? No, that's not what I'm saying. But the point is, when it comes to you, don't just make your decision to have many children because of maybe that's what you saw growing up. It's not necessarily the best thing to do for your life. And beyond that, what it does to a woman or to parents, where both parties are involved, fully involved, is the quality of your life reduces. You see people that in the book of Genesis, I believe chapter 4, chapter 5ish, when we're talking about the genealogy of the world, how the world spread out, you start saying, okay, maybe, and then he gave birth to Methuselah, and Methuselah was maybe a certain number of years, and he had sons and daughters, and then he died. So those people that's their story, you find out that their life begins to revolve around taking care of children, making sure that they have food to eat, water to drink. Your life becomes about your children. And that's why a lot of parents, when they have had those plenty children and they have spent their whole lives taking care of the children, they may end up not having anything put aside for themselves. They may end up not having lived at all. They're just parenting. That's not really what life is all about. We are here for much more than having children, having sons and daughters, and dying. So just think about it. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.